Today, I'm asking for your help. And it's not help for me specifically, but for all of us as podcasters. I believe if we band together, we can make something huge happen for podcasting. My name is Kerry Green, and I am the Client Happiness Guy at PodcastFastTrack.com, and this is Podcastification. This show is all about podcasting. How to do it, how not to do it, best practices, interesting news items that have to do with the realm of podcasting, and who knows what else. And I'm trying to do it all with a little bit of fun and some information to help you get a show going, keep yours going, or make it better. And if you like what's going on here on the show, I would appreciate it, so appreciate it, if you could leave a rating or review on iTunes. You can find out how to do that at podcastfasttrack.com/review. That's enough of that kind of stuff. Let's get you podcastificated right away. Just recently, I was inspired by one of the weekly rants that Rob Walsh often gives on the Feed podcast from Libsyn. And I will have a link to that episode 95, in the show notes for this episode. Here's the issue. Podcasting is huge. It's getting huger all the time, right? Podcasting is a wonderful thing. So many people across the world are learning about podcasts, and it's a great source for education. It's a great source for business. It's a great source for self-coaching, all kinds of benefits that are coming from podcasting. And there's one tech industry leader who is on the slow train when it comes to podcasting, and they should be on the cutting edge when it comes to this kind of thing. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's Google. Google has been dragging their feet for a long, long time when it comes to creating easy ways for people to consume podcasts. I mean, I understand Google is a search engine company primarily and an advertising company. I get that. But they also produce the Android phone app. And here's the crazy thing. Android phones are 5 times more prevalent in the marketplace than iOS devices. 5 times more prevalent. So to put that in terms we can kind of conceive of, if there were 25 iOS phones, there would be 125 Android phones for every 25, if that makes sense to you. Okay, so there are many, many, many more Android phones out there that are being used day to day by business people, by consumers, by coaches, by you name it. There is a huge market of Android users. But Google has still not created a native podcast app for Android. iTunes has jumped on board. iTunes has a native podcast app. And by native, in case you don't know what I mean, is the app comes installed on the phone with every update of the iOS software. The app is supported regularly and updated regularly. But on Android, there is no such animal. It just doesn't exist. Now, Google has recently added podcasts to Google Play Music. But you get on Google Play Music and tell me, how simple is it to discover a podcast, let alone a podcast you're searching for, a specific one, on Google Play Music? It's convoluted, it's hard to use, it isn't intuitive for a person who really wants to find a podcast. So it seems to me it would be smart for Google, because of their dominance in the smartphone marketplace, to create a native podcasting app, an app that only does podcasting, just like Apple has. If they want to be competitive with companies like Apple, I think it's important that they stay on par with the trends that are happening out in the consumer world. Let me give you some stats here about what this means practically speaking. Okay, there are 5 times the Android devices to iOS devices out there in the marketplace. But the most recent stats shows that there is a 4.5 to 1 ratio of podcasts being consumed in favor of iOS devices. So more people are listening to podcasts on iOS devices than on Android. Why is that? Well, because iOS devices have a native podcasting app. It's very easy to consume podcasts, to find podcasts, to play podcasts, to listen to podcasts on an iOS device. Now, when you extrapolate that out with that lopsided margin of Android devices to iOS devices, it gets pretty staggering. There is actually a 23-to-1 consumption of podcasts, iOS over Android. What's up with that when there are many, many more Android devices out there in people's hands? The only answer is that Android does not have a podcasting app. And please don't hear this being a war between iOS and Android. That's not my point. My point is podcasting could benefit immensely if Google would devote manpower and resources to creating a native app for Android. It's my hope that we as podcasters, we are perhaps small in number compared to the dollars that Google has, but we are mighty in spirit, right? We can do this. I think if we band together and we make it known to Google, not just once, but repeatedly, that we want to see the development of a native podcasting app for Android, we can see some momentum happen. Now, there's quite a few ways that we could go about this, and I'm just now jumping on this with initial thoughts of strategy. And, I'm not the greatest marketing mind out there, so if somebody's got some better ideas, please email me, Carey, Carey, at podcastfasttrack.com, and let me know your thoughts, because I really want to see this thing happen. But here's what I've thought of so far. Facebook is the dominant social media platform out there. No question about that. I have created a post on Facebook through my Podcast Fast Track Facebook page that is asking Google directly to create a podcast app for Android that's native, that is always updated on Android devices. I would like to ask you to go to that post, and I'm going to make it easy for you to do so, and comment in that post to let Google know you support the same idea. When you comment, say whatever you want to Google. Be nice, be courteous, don't be mean about it, don't be cutting. None of that gets us anywhere. Be concerned for podcasting and for the podcasting market. Make your comment and tag Google. You can use the @, type in Google, and you'll see them come up. Choose them. Then hashtag Google. Then share it with people that you think would be sympathetic to the cause and ask them to do the same thing. Let's get ourselves rolling on this thing and show Google that there are many, many, many people out there who use their products, who use their AdSense platform, who use their services, and want them to respond to the market and create a native podcasting app. Now, here's the link to the post on Facebook. You can go to podcastfasttrack.com/Google app. So one word, Google app. And that will redirect you to the Facebook post. So you're not going to be landing on my Podcast Fast Track website. You're going to be landing on the actual Google post where I have asked Google to take action on this. And I also have that link in the notes for this episode. So if you're listening on a smartphone of any kind, you can swipe right, left, whatever, find the link and go directly to that post right now. And I would love it if you would help me spread the word about this. And if you would help me speak directly to Google and let them know that the consumers out there who are known as podcasters, who are growing in number every single day, want them to stand up and be the tech leader that they have shown themselves to be so far by creating a default podcasting app for Android. Now, it's also possible that some of you have contacts in the industry. You have people that you know who work at Google or who have worked at Google and might have contacts. That's how this kind of thing can happen. Spread the word to those people. Ask them if they can run interference or get involved in this to motivate Google to do what seems like common sense. That's all I've got to say about it. I really want to see this thing fly. I want to see us prove to the world, to the media, to whoever, to Google, to ourselves perhaps, that we podcasters can join together and make a difference for the realm of podcasting. Let's do it. Let's really do it. I think we can. So go to podcastfasttrack.com/ Google app. Leave your comment. Tag Google. Hashtag Google. Use the hashtag Native Podcasts for Android. And share it with people that you think would be sympathetic to the cause and get on board. That's it. It's a short episode this week. Thanks so much for being a part of the podcastification audience. You know what time it is. It's time for you to go out and make it a podcastificating day. This show is brought to you by Podcast Fast Track, where my team provides professional podcasting services without the time suck. Full production, editing, and show notes, all in one monthly subscription package. You can find out more at podcastfasttrack.com. Now go out and make it a podcastificating day. Audio editing and show notes by podcastfasttrack.com. Get 15% off your first month by mentioning this show.